She's going to open up by challenging you. That's all I got this morning.
He's just buying me time so I can turn on my own camera.
Yeah, it's just not happening anymore. Sarah, Walton, everyone.
So, here's the thing. It's Friday. I had this memorized. So about that. So we're going to kind of like Frankenstein this thing together. But there are some points that I want to make sure that I absolutely cover with you. I am somebody who, I am not a Hollywooder. I am an introvert, despite what some of you may have seen this week. My emotional currency starts full in the morning, and then as I go through social interactions, I am spending one little point at a time. The pot grows bigger, but there's a limit. That's me. I am the one who watches from the corners. I am the one who leads from the middle, but you can, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm here, I'm a good worker bee, I'm a plan B. And that's good, I'm okay with that. But what I'm about to do is make you uncomfortable and angry. A little bit. A little bit. Imagine that when you walk in, you have a colleague who, to your face, looking in your eyes, says the only reason that you're teaching here is to cover somebody else's plan time. That's your worth. That was said to a specials teacher in my building by a science teacher from the high school in our district who also happens to be the president of our teachers union. Yeah. I knew then, as a new teacher, I had some work to do. I got angry. And in that anger, I found power. The thing about being a teacher is that we forget we have to sell ourselves. We forget we have to be good salesmen. A good salesman has a message. That message makes people buy into them and what they're selling. You have to make sure that you are helping people understand what they're buying into when they deal with you. They have to know your thoughts. They have to know what you're about. You have to get into them to buy into your way of thinking so that they know that what you have is a worthy cause and not a paycheck. That's the difference in good teachers. So I don't know if you've ever seen this TED Talk. I tend to, like, if my girlfriend during lunch is busy, I'll sit in my room and watch TED Talks instead. That little KTI, woohoo! Simon Sinek is one of my favorites. He is not a teacher. He is a public speaker. He teaches businesses and general public how to be better than themselves. This is a talk called How to Inspire Great Leaders, or How Great Leaders Inspire Others, something like that, it's Friday. But this is one of those things. I can do this no justice. But this is a lollipop moment for me. And through this TED Talk, I discovered something of myself. I needed a message. I needed a why. I needed something clear that I could communicate to somebody else. He's talking to business people. You are business people. Your business is kids. Your business is your program. Your business is your curriculum to do better by kids. So here's what I got out of this TED Talk, and please do at some point check that out. Here's what I discovered of myself. And I have to read this because I want to make sure it's word for word. In everything I do, I believe in creating an environment where all people I interact with discover acceptance, curiosity, and the freedom to discover acceptance, curiosity, the freedom to discover new skills, thoughts, passions they may have never dared before. The way I do that is by creating a presence around me through presenting my students' passions proudly, being helpful to my colleagues, inviting parents in, inviting families in, inviting administration in with open arms, and doing everything I can to promote what is best for kids as passionately as if it were for my own. I just happen to teach in your school. Would you like to see what I have planned? I don't have to say those words to my principal because I embody those words. And she knows that when I come up to her and I say, hey, what do you think about this? That is the place I'm starting. That's where I'm at. If you walk into a culture, because you are leaving this week, I know. The cafeterias are way too close, too many onions. When you leave this week, they are not ready for you. Absolutely, you are too much for them. And that's good. That's where you need to be. This is one of those things that catches. I walked into a culture, thankfully, despite what I just told you at the beginning, where my principal is my age, her husband is an art teacher in another district. She knows where I'm coming from, at least. And she's a former KTI star. She gets it. And I know that if she says, no, that can't happen, there's something else, that there's a reason. I also know that in my culture at my school building, I just happen to have landed in a building where theater, music, and art are valued. Not quite as much as football, but they're valued. The kids are talented in it and they enjoy it. Not a whole lot of opportunities, but some. You have work to do. You have to create this culture of yours. Never apologize for being who you are. Never apologize for being here. Never apologize for wanting more. If what you do is what's best for kids, your policy is lead, follow, or get the hell out of my way. You don't have to be mean about it. Lead, follow, or get out of my way can be kind. It can be passionate. It values itself. It manifests in professionalism, in kindness, in being the one to step forward when nobody else will. If you are the driving force, you're going to bring people with you. Lead, follow, or get out of my way. Come join me. This is one of those things where teachers talk. We're those people. Teachers will talk behind your back, make it so that they're talking good things. Even the hardest teachers, if you are speaking with your heart, they may not agree with you, but they'll respect what you're saying. They'll know where you're coming from. So, in this, I want to play a game. It takes 2 seconds. Don't cheat. I want you, when I give you the prompt, to point to the thing that I ask you to find. Your nearest lead learner, go. You all got it wrong.
That was a
You
trick
should
question.
be pointing at yourselves. This week is not about coming to see gurus. We are not gurus. We're people in the classroom that somebody else lit our light bulb. That's why you're here. Look around the room. Can you pick out the lead learners? Do you see the purple? There's a reason we're dressed like you today. You're it. Tag. I challenge you to go back to your school, and you guys have been so generous to us. You have been, yeah, please clap. Yes, you guys have been so generous to us. But here's the thing, and I don't mean this in a bad way. That lasts a week. If you want to pay us back, pay it forward. Do it for somebody else. Here's the thing. I asked somebody, what's your takeaway from this week? You probably, if you've gotten a purple poker chip, you know what I'm talking about. We're grilling, like we're teachers, but that's kind of a second nature thing. I had somebody who gave me the perfect answer this morning. It was 2 words. I can. That was her takeaway. It was fantastic. That's the embodiment of KTI. KTI isn't a place. KTI is a family. It's a mindset. It's a mindset more than anything else that you're taking back to share. That's what you need. Now, there's a little frog on my slide for a reason. There's an urban myth, and I did look into this. I thought it was real for a while, and then oh wow, I've been lying to people. This urban myth is that if you put a frog in a pot of water and you turn up the heat, because they're cold-blooded, they won't notice the change. But I find it's a perfect analogy. So I challenge you, are you going to be the one sitting in the pot, letting the water boil around you? Or are you going to be the one that's turning up the heat so that they don't notice what's going on? Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. That was an excellent message to help wrap up our week. And now our highlight reel from yesterday.